speaking, or who is speaking to us about all things mentorship. If you missed it, Mrs. Qhawekazi Mdikane is the Chief Marketing Officer at Momentum Corporate, and she's going to be telling us all the tips and tricks that we need to make sure that we sustain a good mentorship, and she's going to be giving us all the tips and tricks that we need to make sure that when we are no longer aligned with the mentorship, we break it off amicably, and we make sure that we maintain good relationships with our mentors. Sis Qhawekazi, we are still with you on the line.
Yes, you are. I'm still here.
Let's continue with the questions. Now we're going into the challenges of mentorship. We all know that at some point in time you outgrow a lot of relationships, and one of those relationships are the mentorships, right? And I want to know, how do you make sure that you break off a mentorship with professionalism and poise, ensuring that both parties involved feel empowered?
I think it's very important that the first thing you do is to be honest, with your mentor. Mentorship involves really building a relationship. So I think it's very important that while you build this relationship, you build trust, and therefore you're honest with your mentor when you feel that the mentorship itself and the journey is no longer serving you. Because like I said in the beginning, if you establish clear expectations and what you need to get from the mentor, there will come a time when you feel that, you've achieved most of your objectives and goals from the mentorship. So be honest and transparent when you feel that the mentorship itself is no longer, serving your needs. The second thing for me is that you need to show appreciation to your mentor. Mentoring somebody requires a lot of time. It's a commitment. And therefore it's important that as the mentee, you really show appreciation to your mentor by just saying, expressing your gratitude to the mentorship journey, and also giving them feedback. Feedback is a gift, by sharing exactly how that mentor has impacted your life, your career, and your growth trajectory.
Yeah.
The third thing for me is to stay connected.
About staying connected. So now we have ended the relationship with my mentor. As a mentee, how do I make sure that I maintain a good relationship even after I have ended the mentorship?
I think for me, because of the platform that is social media, and the benefits that social media has provided for us, it's easy to stay connected through social media. You don't really need to meet in person to stay connected. So following each other on a platform such as LinkedIn could be one of those ways for you to stay connected, where the mentor and the mentee still continue building that relationship. Often, on LinkedIn, you update all your career achievements. When you've got something profound to share, that's where you really go on and update it in terms of what's happening in your career. And therefore, your mentor can still follow your journey. So that is one way to stay connected. Because remember, it's very important as you climb up the corporate ladder to have somebody who will speak for you or speak on your behalf in rooms that you are not in. So it's very important that when there are opportunities anywhere, within your career, or that fall within your career aspirations, that mentor is that person who can actually speak for you in rooms that you are not. That you're not in.
I probably have not experienced this, but it's probably a reality that a lot of people who were mentees experience. A hard transition from being a mentee and having someone who you can go to all the time to say, okay, I don't know what to do with this decision. How can you advise me? So how do I, as a mentee, transition from being under someone who I consulted with regards to decisions, and making sure that I ensure I have a smooth transition into doing that as an individual?
So you're asking about the transition from being a mentee to now being a mentor?
Or a mentee to just being not under a mentor?
Okay. So I think for me, it's important that you have somebody that advises you throughout life. For example, I've got a mentor and I've got a life coach. And for me, the beauty of having those two individuals in my life is that I've got somebody who just, guides, coaches, and advises me on the challenges that we all face and experience in life. So I would never really advise somebody not to have a mentor in their life. And I want to just say that you never really, outgrow or reach a ceiling where you don't need advice. In life, we all need advice. Even the best superstars in sports have got coaches. So it's important that you consistently and continuously seek advice, either from a mentor or even a life coach, just in life in general.
Yeah. I think my final question is, when we have parted ways as a mentor and a mentee, how can we ensure that we pass on this knowledge to other people and continue to inspire other women as well with the relationship that we have or we had?
I think one of the things that, or one of the, I would call it, there's this perception, let me call it like that, there's this perception that women especially don't really support each other, especially in the workplace. So it's important that you acknowledge and you celebrate somebody who has impacted your career and who has played a vital role in shaping your career. So for me, I would say making sure that you continuously and consistently acknowledge somebody who has played that vital role is key. As a result, as Momentum Corporate, we started a campaign which is called #DearWorkingWomen, where we are asking women, especially during Women's Month, which is now in South Africa, to post a black and white picture of their women heroes and share how they have inspired their journey to success. And we are asking them to do this because often, if you're a mentor, you don't know who has inspired, whom you have inspired, whom you have, uplifted, whom you have given advice to, and how it's impacted your career. So I think it's important that we find opportunities to give people their flowers, while they're still alive, by just expressing, as women to each other, the impact that we're making in each other's lives.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Sis Qhawekazi, for joining me this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope to have you again to speak about something else on the show. It was an amazing one. I know that I've learned a lot, and I hope that you've learned a lot. And it's something that I'm going to use as a person who's in my final year and I'm looking to go into corporate. And maybe I'm going to have a mentor. And when I do have a mentor, these are things that I am going to use. I hope that you took them for yourself as well and that you use them effectively. With that being said, it still is business talk. We're going to go into a bit of summer show. 10 minutes of it and then we're done. The conversation we're having is, have you ever rage applied? Send it through on the WhatsApp line of 061-720-1072. That is 061-720-1072. Now, if you don't know what rage applying is, it's basically when you apply to numerous of jobs because you don't want to be at the job that you are at now or currently or at that present moment. So send through your WhatsApp on if you've ever rage applied. Did it work out? Did it not work out? Did you tell your boss that you rage applied? And what was their response to it, and maybe to the companies that you rage applied to? What happened to that process? Did you get back or did you get callbacks from the companies? Did you get interviews in the companies? Tell me all about it. And if you have, I want to know why you have. Send it through on the WhatsApp line of 061-720-1072. That is 061-720-1072.